Hi, this is Rick with the Tractor Channel. In this video, I'm going to show you the easy way to change the oil in a Bobcat MT100 or MT85. I will put a list of what is needed to complete the job at the end of the video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to raise our loader, and then we're going to put our loader safety lock in place. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take that cover off the front, and after we do that, we'll see a hose with a fitting on it, and we need to take that cap off. And I'm going to use a impact driver to do that. It's 7/8 inch, so I'm going to put a 7/8 inch end wrench on it, and then I'm going to use the 7/8 impact and make sure it's in the reverse position when you go to take that off. Is I take these are 7/8. I take a 7/8 wrench and I hold the back part, and then I take a 7/8 impact, and then I make sure it's in the reverse position, and that's all there is to it. There comes your oil out of there. Put your pan under there. Anyways, to get to there, I also did I took this plate off right here. It's got a 15 millimeter bolt that covers that right there. This part right here sticks down in that groove, and it's got a 15 millimeter bolt that holds it right there. So as that drains, it's not going to drain very fast. Before I start the whole procedure, what I usually do too is I take a rag and I wipe the top of that valve cover off right here. Here's our oil fill. Now I've already wiped it off, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give that system a little bit of air. Just unscrew it. No, not to unscrew it. You can unscrew it all the way. It really doesn't matter. These hold about 3.8 quarts, so almost 4 quarts of oil. This one right here. The next thing we're going to need to do is remove the plate on the exhaust exit side of the machine. It's got a knob you see on the right there. Loosen that knob, and then it's got a bolt that holds that plate on. Now you can just loosen that bolt. You don't have to take it all the way out, but if you loosen it quite a bit, then you'll actually be able to move the plate out of your way, and then you can get inside of there to the oil filter itself. But you can see you got a knob on the top right there, and then that screw on the left side. You look in here. This is the actual oil filter. Sorry it's so dark. I don't know if I can get it where you guys can see it. But anyways, you do have a sensor right here next to it to the right. So when I use this procedure, you got to be very careful that you do not break that sensor off. The sensor's not that hard to change, but here's what I use. I use a large pair of water pump pliers in about that position right there. Now, the reason I do that is I've probably broken 10 oil filter wrenches trying to get these things out of here. So this one, I've already pre-loosened it, but you get the gist of things. I'm sorry it's hard to do this and hold. I just stick the water pump pliers in there like that, in the upside down position, and I get it around that oil filter, and then you're able to get enough torque and squeeze on that oil filter and turn it. You can see it turning there. So that's how you get these out of here, and that is the big trick to doing these. And I don't know if anybody else knows how to do it, because I've watched people struggle to get these out of here. What I do too is I take about 10 paper towels, I put them down there in the bottom. So then when you go to let's see, I have this loose enough to come out by hand. Now I've already unscrewed this with the pliers probably about almost a half a turn, maybe 3/4 of a turn. And it's actually still not loose enough. So let me turn you off here, and then I'll loosen that up a little more, and then I'll pull it out, and I'll show you. The oil pretty much just going to go down into the paper towels. Our oil's still draining out the front here. This is just a crappy system. I don't like this system at all right here. I think this Bobcat has like 51 hours, so it just barely went over. So let me turn this off, and I'll get that unscrewed a little more. And like I said, all I'm going to do is take these water pump pliers upside down, stick them in there, get good leverage, watching that sensor the whole time. There's that silver sensor in the front there, and you don't want to break that off.
So I'm gonna, let's see if I can get with the camera. It's pretty hard with the camera, but okay, so you see me turning, I'm just using my left hand, so of course you'll use both hands there. Now see that sticker come up there? I've turned this one, I probably turned it a whole turn, which is absolutely amazing. I'm gonna put a rag right here on this track, because when I bring that filter out of there, you're gonna see we're gonna probably get a little oil over here. But now I can just unspin it, of course. And I'm gonna put my arm in there, because I'm gonna try to, as soon as I get it kind of loose, I'm gonna try to drop the filter. Okay, so you don't lose much oil like that. But here comes my filter out, and you can see the marks I put on that thing with those water pump pliers. But that, by golly, is the only way that you're gonna get these out of here. So it's pretty simple though. We just put we'll put our new filter on. I just put these on hand tight. I mean, I tighten them as hard as I can, but I just do them by hand. And you know, of course, always make sure your gasket came out on the oil filter, whatever you're changing, fuel filter, oil filter. Make sure your gasket comes out, because you never want to double gasket anything. You'll never get it to seal. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to get my new filter. I'm going to rub a little bit of oil on the new gasket. I'm going to put it in by hand. I'm going to wipe up all that oil down there on the bottom. I'm going to hold that hose down a little bit more, see if I can get any more out of there. Then I'm going to put that cap back on. And then I'm going to put 3.8 quarts right there. And I'm going to check the oil as I put it in too. I'm pretty sure it's 3.8 quarts on these little guys. And then that's pretty much it.
So the oil change should take you around an hour.
There, and I use the water pump pliers a lot of times, like on the case filters.
So one thing I didn't mention in this video, and I think it's real important to let everybody know, when you take the oil fill cap off of the top of the valve cover, be super careful. There's going to be a lot of dirt between the actual cap and the valve cover. So when you take the cap loose, you're going to want to take a paper towel or a shop rag and move that dirt away from the hole. Don't let any of the dirt get in the hole. And then as you have the cap out, there's going to be that same line of dirt on the cap. So make sure and clean that cap off so you don't get any dirt inside that valve cover.
And like I said, I just turned them upside down, and then I'll take a flashlight here and I'll show you guys where that, so that oil filter is just right there. But that's that sensor to the right of it, and you want to be very careful by not hitting that sensor. And that here's a funnel I use to fill them. But see, you can see down in there my where the fill port is on the oil there. When I took that cap off right here, it had a ring of dirt around that valve cover, and then you can still, I've wiped most of it off here, but you can see some dirt still on there. So you just got to be very careful. It's got a big O-ring on there, but you got to be very careful. And I've let this one run for 5 minutes. I did put the cap back on before I started it. I don't think it matters, but now I'll put a little more oil in it and check it again. But
thanks for watching. I hope you were able to learn something from this video. I appreciate you watching the tractor channel, and please like and subscribe. See you later.